Hey everyone, this is B. Cruz from Operation Sports. I'd like to talk a little today about pitch strategy in the show and show how that strategy plays out during a game. To do that, I'll be combining a couple of relatively new obscure features in this year's game, using player lock to control only a catcher and to call a game for the CPU pitcher. Every single person who has ever played a game in this series has experienced this scenario. Trying to protect a late lead, you aim a pitch to the corner of the strike zone, hoping to either get a swing and miss or weak contact. If you're using one of the meter interfaces, maybe you even hit your meter perfectly, but as the ball is coming in, you can see it's coming right down the middle, and a second later it's leaving the yard. Of course, this does happen in real life. Even rallies where this plays out multiple times in one inning happen in real life. Where it starts to get a little off the realism rails is when this happens to people game after game. Then it starts getting other descriptions, most notably comeback code. This game cheats. It put my perfect pitch back into the middle of the plate so the CPU could hit it out. It always does this. F this game, I'm going to go angry post about it on a message board. One part of that rant is correct. The game did indeed push your pitch back to the middle, but it didn't do that specifically to screw you. It's just using the same pitching system it's been using all game. Very seldom will pitch go exactly where you aim it in this game. There's a range of error in every pitch, and the ball's actual landing spot can be anywhere in that range. Aiming on a corner is typically a 50-50 chance that your pitch will be a strike, but it also increases the chance that it will be a deep strike, that is, over the middle. The key to pitching effectively in this game is minimizing the number of deep strikes you throw, because that will usually mean the batters will have trouble making solid contact. To address the other part, this happens to me all the time. If this is the case, it's probably time to change up your strategy a bit. That's what I'm here to hopefully help with today. I'm not here to rant against comeback code claims all day. To illustrate the strategic side of the game better, I'll be playing the game from a rather unique perspective, as a catcher in player lock mode. That means that with the help of the Road to the Show Game Watch option, All Fielding, I have the ability to call pitches for the entire game and have the CPU, under its own power, try its best to hit the spots I'm calling. For those who know what the API is, think of it as me using that big catcher's mitt icon to direct the AI, just as it does for a human pitcher. So, I've talked enough. I'm going to go ahead and get this started. I'm going to go down here to Wellington Castillo and activate Player Lock. That little crosshair next to his name shows that Player Lock's activated. Let's get my stadium. I'm going to do fast play because I don't want this to take 2 hours. And get started. For this game, I'll be using Jeff Samardzija for the Cubs. He's a really great example of how this works because he's a strikeout pitcher. He gets a lot of strikeouts, but he also is pretty inaccurate. He misses his spots a lot, and he's going to walk people. He's a great example for what I'm trying to show here. Let's give it a minute to load up.
Starling Marte. We'll head for the boxes. We are just about ready to get things
and
going
we'll get
today.
this going. First of all, I just want to point out what I'm using here as far as the sliders go. Everything's default with one exception, strike frequency down to 3. Honestly, it doesn't make much difference for what I'm trying to show off here. That more relates to how the computer pitches you when you're batting. But I just wanted to show that I'm using basically all default settings. Gameplay, I have a gameplay preset that's mostly based on ratings. I have all-star batting, all-star pitching. Let's see, the buttons, fielding, just to keep it simple. I don't want my fielding, rather the Cubs fielding, to impact the game negatively. Okay, I think that's it. Go ahead and get this going. So, if you've never seen this before, the way this works is I'll choose a pitch from over here, then the mitt appears, and I can move it around just like the aiming cursor, or the PCI or the pitch aiming cursor. And we'll go ahead and throw a pitch. You saw where I aimed it. It's right over the middle. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no mistake about that.
It's not a bad pitch because it's a first pitch, but yeah. Okay, 0-1 count. I don't want this to be that close to the middle of the plate, so I'm going to aim way down low here. And he's really wild to start out. Okay, now 1-1. Still going to keep it out of the middle because I think he might try to swing here. Going with another fastball. That's kind of close. Not too bad. All right, now I'm behind. This now I want to throw something off speed, but I want to, I would like it to either be a strike or be close to the plate. So I have to take a little more risk here. I'm going to call for the slider down here. Hopefully it doesn't land there. Hopefully it lands a little bit outside of there. Yep, that wasn't a good pitch. That was a high slider. Those get hit hard.
Sneak on through into right for a leadoff single. Jordy Mercer will stand in now, and he'll likely have a look down to third to see if anything's up here with nobody out.
I believe the computer takes care of the pickoffs in this. Maybe I can call for one. I don't know. All right. Let's try putting this on the corner again. Oh, man.
Can't imagine
Shark's wild.
like that too much.
I'm noticing this, and I'm seeing that I'm going to have to aim over the plate quite a bit more than I want to because Shark's really wild right now.
Not close. It's 2-0.
Yeah, and you got to be careful that you don't speed
In this
up your
particular time, I'm going to
delivery
pipe
too much
one.
with the base still
What
on
this
first,
does is
or
if
you
I throw
might
it down the
wind up
middle,
walking this
it's
guy, too.
more than likely not going to go there. If it does, it's probably bad. But what it's more likely to do is get pushed out towards the corners. Very high chance of it being a strike, but being down the middle, unlikely. So there you go, right on the corner.
Yeah, you know, he probably got the fastball he was looking for, but on
All
2-0,
right.
you can
Now I'm going to
throw
look
one
to
pitch
try
in
to
one
get a
spot. And if it's
ground
not in
ball
that
here. I want him to
spot,
try to
you
put it
take
in play. I want him to hit it on the ground. So I'm going to
Here's
call
the
for a
2-1
low
pitch.
slider, and
Now a
bam.
slider in the
You
dirt.
just
Good block
cannot
by
throw
the
strikes
catcher
today,
there.
can you?
You get the leadoff single, and now you've got a 3-1 count. He's already in a little hot
So I hope
water
you're
here to start
noticing
the
that where just because I'm telling the computer to throw it down the middle, it's not going there. That's just the way the pitching in this game works, and it doesn't matter if it's the computer or if it's the human throwing it. That's just how the system is. Payoff. Oh my God, way high.
Ball four. First and second.
He's
now
not
with
even
nobody
close right
out.
now. I'm going to have to throw down the middle just to
Andrew
ensure I can throw
will
a strike,
stand in
and
now
that's
in an early
dangerous.
RBI spot in the top of the first. And he gets ahead here with the fastball.
Pretty good
Strike
pitch.
one.
Good pitch right there, right on the heels of a walk. He needed to get ahead of the next guy, and he did just that.
And this one gets away.
How did I not
and
catch
it ought to be
that? I was
scored a
right. I
pass
had the
ball.
glove right on it. Yeah.
And he'll make it to third here on what will likely be ruled a passed ball.
Okay, that was outside the zone, but I got him to swing at
Behind the
it,
first
so it
base
was a good
dugout.
pitch. 1-2. Now I'm going to be really cautious on this one. I don't want this to be a strike, so I'm going to aim it as far outside as I can, and let's see where he puts it.
Good plate discipline
Pretty far
to lay
outside.
off the slider that time, and he draws even at 2-2.
That's a good idea. 1 and
Try
2
going
right
off
there,
speed again.
just to see if
I'm going
he
to call for a
takes.
splitter
Now,
over
with
the
count
plate.
even,
Now,
I think
this would
one
be a
has
bad
to be in the
idea if
strike
you were
zone,
if you were
because
playing
don't
like with a
wanna run the
meter or
risk of
something,
loading the
but I'm
bases
not.
with cleanup
I
guys.
have to rely on that accuracy to push it out farther outside the zone. So a 2-2 splitter over the middle, and it ends up on the outside, but I got a good pitch. It is going to score a run.
3 unassisted for the first out. But one's all they get as the run scores. Pedro Alvarez will get a shot
So it's
here as he'll
1-0.
look to pick up the second run of the inning now from third base.
Can't argue about the results of those last two at bats, though, too much.
And he'll power in a fastball that time
Down
at
the middle.
94 for strike one. No question, this is a straight strikeout situation here.
Well, you've got a strikeout pitcher against a guy who strikes out a lot in a strikeout situation. So I guess you pretty much have all your ducks in a row.
Here's the 1-1. I'll straighten him
That's
up
a
there
good
on
pitch
that
right there.
fastball. It's 1-2 now.
All right,
Yeah,
let's try and
sometimes you give a
get that
power hitter like
strikeout.
this a fastball at eye level, and he just can't help himself.
I want this outside. And he just got a piece. Aim it outside the zone. And got it up again. I got a little more of the plate than I would have liked. That got a lot of the plate.
Swing, and I believe this
He's
one is
just
gonna
really
find the
wild
seats as
today.
Well, it does. So quite a battle here as it remains 1-2.
Let's go high fastball. Up
Here's
and out.
another 1-2. To 2 balls
Was
and 2
that?
strikes now.
And this is where he gets so tough. He's seen everything you've got, but you've still got to make one more good pitch to get him out.
Pitch in
Oh,
the
there
dirt,
we go.
swung on,
Oh,
missed
crap,
for
I gotta
strike
throw.
3 as they'll need to throw
There
to
we
first
go.
here. And indeed, the throw will
Got him
finish
to
him off
swing
as they
it
get the
at a
put
pitch
out
in the
at
dirt.
first, and there are 2 away now. Neil Walker will get
See if
his
we can get
first
out of
shot
this
here,
without
trying
another
to
run
come
scoring.
through with
It's
2
been a
away
rough
and
first
runner
inning.
at third. First pitch to him. And a high strike to
pitch.
begin the at-bat. It's 0-1.
Well, he's really had to work hard here in this first inning. And you got to wonder, how much is that going to take out of him?
And this is fought off.
You can probably tell I'm not going to call out every
foul.
single pitch I'm trying to
And on
throw.
third, with 2
You can
down.
see what pitch I've called because it'll be highlighted as soon as I press the button. It's like right there, I called for a cutter. I want this to be a backdoor one outside
Runner
the
away from
zone.
third, now the pitch.
Comes back
Here's
over the
a
middle,
bouncing
gets an
ball
easy
headed
ground
to
ball.
Marty at second. Throw to first will get him
Yep,
easily
that inning
inside
could have
his
been
retirement.
much worse. I'm not going to do my team's at bats, at least not yet. Maybe after this, I'll play another game like on my Hall of Fame settings and actually play the game. And hey, we got some run support. It'd be nice to get that for some RJ in real life.
Russell Martin leads things off now in the top half of the second.
Russell Martin.
First pitch
See
coming.
if we can put this down a little. That's a pretty good pitch.
And he gets a piece of this one to foul it toward the backstop.
Come on now, one time right here. Looking good, Iowa. You got it. Let it rip right here. Let's go.
Here's a fastball that crowds him a bit, and it's 1-1.
Go, guys. Go, guys. Come on, big guy. Get your pitch, huh? Here we go, guys.
And he gets a piece of it here, but it's
Okay,
chopped
we're
foul.
ahead in the count.
Hey, get on for us here.
Let's waste one outside.
Hey, come on, big dog. Get your pitch.
And
Good
a swing
pitch.
and a miss from Martin as
Right in
he'll
the
retreat
corner.
to the dugout is out number 1. Andrew Lambeau will take his cuts now. Now here's the first pitch. And he'll hold off on the slider to start the at-bat. It's ball 1.
Yeah, and when that pitch starts off outside, it's much easier to get a better view of it and then just lay off.
And he gets a piece here as this ball is fouled away.
Hey, plays at one now. Get your pitch. Right here. All right, come on now. Plays it first.
On a hole now as he swings and misses at a pitch in
After
the
that
dirt,
one.
and it's 1-2 now.
Smart just starting to get his control back here. That's good. 1-2, we're going to go with the cutter. He popped it up.
He took a big swing that time as he lifts a high pop-up, drifting into foul territory on the right side. And 2 quick outs here in the second. Jose Tabata will stand in here looking to keep the inning alive with 2 gone now in the top of the second. Here's a slider to start things out, looked at for ball 1.
I think that's consistent with how the strike zone gets called nowadays. You know, that's a strike in the rule book, but most umpires won't give you that pitch anymore.
And that pitch misses in the dirt, and it's 2-0 now.
Yeah, and he didn't even have to think twice about that one. And now he's got a good hitters count here, 2-0.
Gonna challenge a little bit. Fastball toward
and
the middle.
Lay the
He
fastball
takes.
in here to get the count back to 2-1.
Gonna throw something off speed here, see if I can't push it to the corner. Looks like I'm calling for a splitter over the middle. I don't want it there.
And that one finds the
Decent.
target on the outside
At least he
corner.
didn't swing at it.
2-2.
2-2. Now we're going to try to make him chase a slider.
Good eye to lay off the
Laid
slider
off it.
there, and he
Full
works
count.
it to full 3-2 here.
This is where you really have to look at your matchup and decide whether or not you want to challenge a hitter. Right here, I am going to challenge Tabata. I don't want to walk him. So, I'm going to call for a fastball mostly in the middle of the plate. Hopefully it gets pushed to the outside. There's still a chance I could walk him, but we're going to see how this goes. Pretty good.
Foul back.
Right at the top of the strike zone. It's about where I wanted that. Let's go for another one. Try to take him up the ladder a little more. Got a piece of that too.
Pitch of the at-bat coming up.
It's a tough at bat. Alright, I'm gonna drop the hammer and go with a splitter here. See if I can get him to chase that or have it just
Here's the
catch the corner of the
3-2
zone.
pitch.
No.
And
Oh,
this
he
is
went
a
after
swing
it.
and a miss on a
Thank
ball
you
in the
very
dirt
much.
as they'll need to throw down to first. But the recovery throw will be in time to first. A good job that time of not giving up on the play, and the inning is over.
Much better inning that time. Okay, now I've got one of my at-bats coming up.
Wellington
For this,
Castillo will
for this
stand
part,
in.
I'm just using the timing hitting. I didn't want to do a whole lot of user control in this game. So timing hitting is basically you press a button and you swing. There's nothing more to it than that. This is where you might see that strike frequency 2 slider come into play, because it may throw me a few
Fastball
more
too
balls
high to
than
start him out here,
it otherwise
1-0.
would. And hopefully I don't have to run the bases as a catcher.
That missed. Close. It's ball 2.
Well, if he's missing right here, he ain't missing by much. Not getting too many favors behind the plate.
Down
Or he
low,
could just
and the
he
clock
could just
thickens
4-pitch
here,
walk me too.
3-0.
And that questionable call on the previous pitch, it really changes the at-bat.
Thank
Because
you very much for
he doesn't
walking the
wanna just
catcher
lay
on
one in
4
there
pitches.
2-0. Now it's 3-0, and the tide is not working in his favor.
First pitch on the way. Now a ball slapped hard the opposite way. And this falls in front of Tabata
I'm just
for
going
a
to go
base
through
hit.
this until it's done, and then I'll go back to
Throw
my
the run
pitching.
from second as they jump in front now, 2-1. Jeff Samardzija will stand in, and you can almost guarantee
See if the
he'll
Cubs
be
can
trying to
drive
move
me in
those
here,
runners
though.
here. First offering to him stays upstairs. It's a ball and no strikes.
Whoa, that one definitely took off on him right there. He's lucky that thing didn't go all the way to the backstop.
And that misses 2-0.
And one thing you can't do here, you cannot lose him and load the bases. He's still got a couple pitches to play with, but I'd expect this one to be somewhere in a strike zone.
Lariano
And
seems
here's
about
a
as wild
fastball
as
for a
Samardzija
strike,
in this
2-1
game.
now. Two and two. fastball got him looking, as that had two-seam action on it. One gone.
I could be stuck out here at second for a while.
Second shot at it now. He doubled to start out the home first.
Figures I'd get on base in my first plate appearance when I'm trying to show off the pitching.
Now the pitch. A fastball here as he'll take a look at ball 1-0. Here's a changeup that's right there, 1-1.
Even though that's a strike, that's still not a bad take, because you're facing a guy that's already walked a few guys, so make him throw some more pitches. Run that pitch count up.
1-2.
Just overmatched him there.
Not much of a lead at second. Now here's the pitch. Look out. That one almost got away from him. 2-2 now.
Oh, that's not a bad idea right there. Go ahead and try that back foot slider on a 1-2. Hope you can get him to commit. That's a good job of laying off of that pitch.
Uh-oh, that's double play.
On to the pitcher
Nope.
covering, and he dropped the baseball.
Well, it should have been.
And I would imagine they'd have to score that an E1. Luis Valbuena will get a shot now with 2 on and 2 out here in inning number 2.
Not me into Valbuena.
And that's swung on and fouled straight back.
It's probably not going to get the job done. Oh, he caught it.
Spectacular catch for the
That's
third
bad
out
luck.
of the inning, as he might have saved a couple of runs right there.
Okay, back to what I'm actually trying to do
Liriano
here.
will turn right around and get us started here. 9-1-2 to start inning number 3.
It's the pitcher up. I'm not that
here's the
worried
first
about
pitch.
him doing a whole lot of damage to me, so I'm going to
Now
pitch
a
pretty
fastball to
aggressively,
start
and
the third.
that should have been a
This is
strike.
ball 1.
Yeah, well, that's, I guess, what you'd call a rule book strike. Technically, that's in the strike zone, but it's a call that most pitchers don't
Anyway,
get
I'm going to stay
nowadays.
mostly over the plate on this
This
at bat.
one's a strike. It's 1-1.
I haven't thrown too many two-seamers yet. This is a kind of a good opportunity for me to get some confidence in that pitch. Pretty good
Now a ball
pitch.
hit
Fouled it
foul
off.
to the right and up into the crowd.
Now I'm going to see if I can make him chase on 1 and 2.
1-2.
Throw a splitter down. Not
And
that
they'll try
far
to get him
down.
fishing there, but he won't offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2. Now a slider that swung
Hung the
on and hit in the
slider
air
a
out
bit.
toward left.
It's
One
okay.
away here
It's
to
the
begin the
pitcher.
third.
He's not going to do that much damage.
Starling Marte will stand in. He singled to lead off the ball game and later came around to score the game's first run. Third baseman in tight, protecting the bunt. The first pitch. A little tardy there. No balls and a
Pitch.
strike.
Good first
Now that he's
pitch.
fully loose out there, you can see he's getting a little more zip on that fastball than he had coming out of the gate.
Wouldn't mind this one being a little farther inside.
And
He
he
comes
pumps
right
the
back over the
fastball
middle
by
with
him
it.
at 94. It's 0-2.
Yeah, a couple of mid-90s fastballs, and he
Still
hasn't
got
been
him
close
to
on either one of them.
swing and miss, so it's 0 and 2. Let's try to get him to chase a few now that I'm ahead in the count.
Out of play.
Just moving the mid out as far as I can to indicate that I do not want this in the strike zone, and that's a good pitch. Right on the corner.
To begin the third. Jordy Mercer will stand in. He drew base on balls his first time. Now here's the first pitch. And he'll be at bat. It's ball 1.
And even with
Generally, I want to
outs,
have around.
this is
Think I'm a
part of the
little
lineup,
low on
so
that right
you can't
now.
let your guard
Been
down.
throwing a lot of first pitches outside the zone.
And he fires
It
in a
happens.
strike this time to make it
It's
one
hard
ball
to
and 1 strike.
make sure you can hit that percent, especially with a pitcher like Samardzija. Still getting ahead of a lot of
And
batters,
this
so
ball
I'm
will be
still doing
chopped
all right.
foul.
1-2 fastball inside. Oops, came back over the plate, and that may be a double. Yep, that's extra bases.
Gets down out near the wall and should be extra bases. And this will bounce up against the ivy now. And he will pull into second with a 2-out double.
And that's what happens when the pitcher makes a
Andrew
mistake.
McCutcheon will get an opportunity here in a run-scoring spot now following the 2-out double.
I'm going to try to be pretty careful with McCutcheon. I don't want him to burn me. Oh, that came right back over the middle. Fortunately, ground ball.
The 2-out double as the inning is over. Pedro Alvarez will dig in. A Silver Slugger winner in the National League a season ago.
Pedro Alvarez.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Now a swing and a ground ball. But this is foul for the first strike.
Come on, big Garcia. Drive it right here.
Hey, come on now. One time. Right here.
One good fastball
Got him
deserves
to go
another
after
as he
it.
jumps ahead.
Back ahead 0-2.
Doing a good job right there of tying him up inside. Got in on his hands that time before he could get that barrel through the zone.
Computer's making some margin look pretty good with all those chases.
Good waist pitch, 1-2.
Still want this to be way outside, like calling for it way outside until 3-2.
And that's taken
So I want to try
outside
to
for a
either
ball,
make
so
him
he's worked
chase
it back to
or
2-2
end up, having a miss that goes back over one of the corners.
Now the pitch.
That's how I want to get the strikeout. I don't want him to like swing and miss on a pitch over the middle. That's a pretty good pitch.
And the throw on to first will take care of him.
Good sweet
so he's
contact
thrown out
and
by
an
the
easy
only
ground
man
out.
Standing on the left side of the infield. One away.
Neil Walker.
Hey, get ahead right here, Lee. One down.
Let it fly. Let's go. Right here.
I know I threw up for a high first pitch fastball last time. I'm going to try something else this time.
Give us the title, please. Come in.
Still throw a fastball, but I want it down.
Get ahead right now.
That was weird. Kind of a graphical glitch there.
Now a fastball, and he popped
Yeah,
him up.
Alboyna's got that.
Over toward the left side of the infield. So bases are empty
Good
here.
first
with
pitch
2
out
gone.
after that long
That'll bring
first
in the
inning.
All-Star catcher, Russell
Need more of
Martin.
those. Pitch count's pretty high so far. 62 pitches through 4 innings, or 3 2/3.
Hey, see you to rip it up there.
Hey, first pitch strike. Get ahead right here.
Now a ball hit pretty well to left, but this is going to wind up in the
Good
seats
contact
foul.
there, but he was out ahead of it.
All right, here we go. Plays at 1 now.
And that's inside off the plate with the fastball. It's 1-1.
Kind of a waste pitch there, just looking to get him to chase and maybe get it to 0-2.
Hey, be patient. Pick one out and drive it, kid. Leave it right here. One time, kid.
And here's a slider
that's
for a
it.
called strike, and he's behind 1-2 now.
And now he's made most
That's a
of the
fortunate
hitters
call.
inside conscious. And of course, that opens up the outside corner when he has to go there.
Hey, get your pitch. Stay through it. Let's go. Drive it.
Once again, I want to put this as far outside as the game will let me.
Now a swing and a fly ball. But this is just going to wind up being a foul ball.
By the way, this is the range that I can move the mitt when I'm choosing pitch location on this. You get a much wider range when you're the pitcher, but I can only call for it like around this arc in this mode. Once the pitch comes in, I can move the mitt a lot farther to actually catch the pitch, though.
And they'll try to get him fishing
Dirt
there, but he
ball
won't
splitter.
offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2.
Drive it. Come on, kid.
Still want to try to make him
Here's the
chase
pitch.
something.
Here we go.
2-2.
And this misses,
Outside,
so that'll
full
fill the count
count.
at 3-2. Andrew Lambo would be next if they can keep this inning alive.
This time, since last time I challenged Tabata, I didn't want to walk him. I don't particularly mind walking Martin if the pitch is off the mark. I don't want to have him burn me by leaving something over the middle. So I'm going to call for a splitter down. Probably there. And see, there's a pretty good chance that this is a ball, but hopefully I get him to chase, and if not, then I walk him. It's over the middle. That was a not particularly good pitch. Gonna stay off speed and go with a slider. Right on the corner, you got a decent contact, not too great. Let's fly out, and he's over. And I'm batting again.
Will lead things off here in the home half of the fourth. And right back at it is Liriano as he gets ahead on the first pitch of the inning here, 0-1. Now here's a fly ball hit out toward Marte in left. And he's got it for out number 1. Andrew Lambo will make his way towards the box to lead off the fifth.
First baseman, Andrew Lambo.
Get ahead of him right here. Come on. Stay ahead, stay ahead. Hey, no out now.
And the first pitch of the inning here misses down and in for a ball. It's 1-0.
Hey, you got it. No one better. Let's go. Let it rip right here. Hey, get a good one up there, huh?
Ooh, he went
And
way
this
after
is
that
fouled
one.
straight back.
Good thing, because the pitch was nowhere near where I called for it.
Rip it up. Come on, fellas, let's go. It's your pitch, drive it right here.
Down low, 2 balls and a strike.
Hey, you can do it, kid. No one better up there. Let's go. Come on, guys.
So again, I don't really want to walk Lambo, so I'm going to challenge him pretty good.
One pitch is a fastball swung on and
Shark.
missed 2-2.
We gotta
Doing
talk.
a good job right there of tying him up inside. Got in on his hands that time before he could get that barrel through the zone.
Here's the 2-2 home.
Hey, drip it in, Rick.
Trying to nibble
Ooh, that
here,
was
and he
close.
misses.
Gotten
to
that
run it
call
full
before
now,
in this game.
3-2.
Okay, fastball down the middle again. Like I mentioned before, this does not mean that I'm asking the game to throw it down the middle. I know it's going to push to some degree out to the corners of the strike zone. A high percentage of it being a strike, because I don't want to walk him.
Come on, big guy. Get your pitch and let it rip. Let's go.
Yeah, I got the
Swing,
middle.
hard hit ball to second.
It'll happen
And
sometimes,
the fifth
but
inning will start with a ground out,
fortunately
one away.
Lambo's not such a great hitter,
So
and it's a
one
pretty
gone in
easy
the
ground
inning now
out.
for Jose Tabata.
31. Jose Tabata.
Come on, guys. One down. Here we go, kid.
Uh-oh.
They set the
Oh,
target
man.
in, and this finds
I knew
the
that was
inside
bad the moment
corner
it
for
left his
strike
hand.
one.
Slider, hanging slider right over the middle.
Start affecting him sooner or later, but it hasn't so far.
If anything, he's getting stronger as the day goes on.
Oh, and he's really
Chased
getting the
after
better
it.
of him now. It's strike 2.
Boy, he is putting on a clinic out there right now. These guys don't know what to look for.
Come on, fire one past him. Hey, 2 out.
Trying to get this way
And he
outside.
looks at a
That's a pretty
ball,
good
1 and
pitch,
2.
even though it's a
And
ball.
now, as a hitter, 1 and 2, you've got to be thinking right center field. You know, take a little swing out and try to
Get
drive
this
something the other
fastball
way.
as low as I can get it.
And
He
this
goes
is
after
swung
it
on,
and
it'll
grounds
be
out
another
weakly to
chance out
second.
there at second. Throw gets him, 2 down. Francisco Liriano will try it again. He flew out his first time.
So far, except for that first inning where I threw a whole ton of pitches, I've been pitching pretty aggressively. I haven't I've had a couple of full counts, but I haven't come that close to walking anybody, or having a situation where I wanted to walk somebody. Martin was about the only one.
This one's nowhere
Jeez.
close as that bounces to the plate for ball one.
Okay, I'm going to call for the splitter that can go anywhere other than what I'm aiming.
And he'll
That's
just
pretty
get
good
a piece
pitch.
here as this is chopped foul at home plate.
Caught the plate, but it was still on the corner. Pitcher's not going to do much with that. Yep.
Both
Just
teams
keep
with
him on the
just 2
corner.
hits
He's
apiece
not
thus
going to
far.
hit that ever.
Hey, come on now, one time right here.
Try to get him to chase after the 1-2.
And it's
Not
to
that far
2 and
out.
2 now with the bases empty and 2 gone here in the inning.
Boy, that's pretty good patience out there out of a pitcher who's acting like a hitter, especially with 2 outs.
Gonna challenge a bit. See if I can get the swinging strike.
And
Not
that
up
one
there.
never threatened
Yeah, we
the
don't want to
zone.
walk the
It's gone
pitcher,
full
so
now
this
to
is going to
3
be
and
right
2.
down the middle, or I'm going to call right down the middle.
Starling Marte would be next
We'll
if they
see
can
where it
keep
goes. And
inning
this time I
alive.
think I'm going to throw a 2-seamer. Just for something different.
Full
I really
count
don't want my
pitch on
first
its
walk
way.
to be against the pitcher, but we'll see how this goes.
Goes the other way.
And
This
got a
is
piece of
line to
it
left.
in. Not
Lake
enough.
is there,
Lined
and he'll
out to
put it
Lake.
away to retire the side.
Still throwing a pretty good game here. Just 2 hits allowed. The 1 run was because both hits, I think, happened in the first inning. And we've got offense. 2 runs in the 5th, 4-1 Cubs.
Starling Marte will stand in now. He's singled and struck out in 2 trips.
Okay, so at this point, pitch count's getting up a little bit. It's 86 pitches through 6 innings. We're going to start noticing Samardzija getting even more wild than he's already been. And that gets pretty dangerous when you're facing good hitters. So I'm aware of that. I'm going to be warming up the bullpen shortly. But I also have to be more careful with my pitch calling. So if I leave pitches too much over the middle, then they're going to start catching on and knocking the ball around pretty hard.
To kick off the 6th. Jordy Mercer will dig in. He doubled his last time.
Oh, the computer is warming up a pitcher for me. Right on cue. I didn't know it would do that. Guess since I'm in player lock mode, but you can see I do have the options to warm up the bullpen, so I'm kind of surprised the computer did that by itself.
Well, he hasn't shown too many signs of cracking so
Thanks,
far.
Rick.
He's got the look of someone right now who's ready to go the distance.
Ball 2. Cubs have someone working in their bullpen now as a right-hander's begun to get loose.
Like I said, this is where I'm going to start to be cautious because I know the pitch count is high and I don't want to leave something over the middle.
3-0 now.
So
On deck,
I'm not
there's
as
Andrew
worried
McCutcheon.
about
He'll hit next.
putting somebody on base. Also, I have a 3-run lead, so I don't want to. I shouldn't mind, I guess, giving up a base.
And
Yeah,
that
that's
misses
wild.
as well. Ball
First
4,
walk.
so it's a 4-pitch walk here. Andrew McCutcheon will stand in, and he, like so many others, hitless in the ball game
Obviously,
so
I want
far.
to be really careful here because McCutcheon's a good hitter.
Now a fastball that couldn't quite find the
It's
zone.
not a bad
It's
pitch.
ball
It's
1.
about where I wanted it.
Danger here is this is a guy who can make this a 1-run game.
And if he does, make him do it out to right field. I wouldn't give him anything he can pull.
Up top,
Not
it's
close.
2-0.
Well, one thing we've seen from this guy on the mound so far, when he makes bad pitches, they typically miss out of the strike zone. They don't miss in the zone where they can be crushed.
And here's a fastball that he takes the other way.
Deep
out
fly
to
ball,
fairly
right
deep
field. Coming back on it. Okay, you
Past
got
the
it.
range back a ways, but he makes
That was
the
a little
catch
scary.
in front of the ivy for out number 2. Pedro Alvarez will dig in for the 3rd time now. He's struck out and bounced out in his first 2 trips. First pitch coming. And it's the outside corner. It's strike 1.
Again, at this
PK,
point,
the
it's all
starter,
about being
creeping up
careful
on 100
with
pitches
my
now,
pitch
but that number alone
selection
doesn't
and
appear to be
location.
affecting him too much at all.
Yeah, he still looks sharp. Still,
I just want those pitches to be able to come back over the middle and or come back over the corners, not the middle.
Hey, good one up there, huh? Have a rip like you can. Here we go now, huh?
No offer on that one.
Way
2
high.
balls and a strike. Everything away here, and with pretty good reason.
Yeah, they'll say, left field, it's all yours. You want to beat us that way? Go ahead and do it.
Here's a big
Good
swing and a
pitch.
miss on the fastball. 2-2.
Boy, he is just wearing guys out with that two-seam fastball. I don't care if it's inside, outside. He's
See if we
really
can get him
hitting
to
his
go
spots
after a
well.
splitter and hopefully get the strikeout.
Doesn't
Nope,
chase
not that
after
far
the
outside.
splitter, and he works it back to a full count. And with just 5 2/3 innings under
This is
his
a tough
belt,
one.
he's about to
I
hit
don't
the
want to
century
walk
mark
the
in his
tying,
pitch
or I
count
don't want to
now.
bring the tying run to the plate. But I also am in a situation where I need to, where I don't want to give up a home run. So here, I'm going to throw my best pitch, right, my highest confidence pitch right now, which is my fastball, and throw it mostly over the plate, or call for it mostly over the plate. We'll see where it goes. This could be bad. It's
And
outside.
that
It's ball
misses,
four.
ball 4, so it's first and second now with 2 out. Neil Walker will step in now and see what
All
he
right.
can do with 2 on and 2 out.
100
here in the 6th.
pitches at this point. Yeah, I still want to get through the 6th, so I'm going to, this might be a mistake, but I'm going to keep Samardzija out there.
Outside target
Pretty
here,
good
and he
pitch.
hits it for strike 1.
And that's what he needed here with 2 outs. He couldn't afford to fall behind another guy here in the inning, so that's a good job to jump in that driver's seat with strike 1.
And this
That's a really
catches
good
the zone
pitch.
as well. It's
Right on the
0-2
corner.
now.
Well, no taking now. He's going to have to swing the bat.
Definitely trying to make him chase anything I can get him to chase here.
Short lead from second, now the pitch. Way outside. 1-2.
This is likely to be Samardzija's last batter if I don't get him. It's probably his last batter anyway.
Just
Way
tried
inside.
to freeze him with the fastball there. Pretty close. It's 2-2.
Now this needs to be a strike here on
Okay,
2-2
gonna
because
throw
if
a
not,
splitter.
now all of a sudden the runners are off with the next
Still
pitch.
want to be pretty careful with it. That's a good pitch, and he just laid off it.
Sense him starting to tense up out there on the mound. They had him down 0-2, and now he's struggling to make.
I'm gonna try throwing that again because I almost got him to go after it.
And a tough
Perfect
pitch. On
pitch.
2 strikes as he's able
Just
to
got a
foul
piece
it
of it.
off.
Now I've gone slow a couple of times. When they're where do I want it? I'm gonna come in on him. Three, two,
And he comes back with a
perfect.
fastball.
That was beautiful,
Strike 3
right on the
ball.
corner.
The
He
inning is
can't hit
over.
that.
Brian Morris.
Good job,
will come
Shark.
on now as he'll start out the bottom of the 6th.
Number 29, Ryan Morris.
Wellington Castillo.
Okay, and
gets
I've got
settled in
another
here as
player
the
lock
Cubs
at bat
look to
here.
Get it going in their half of the 6th.
Like I said, this isn't really what I'm doing the broadcast for, but gotta do it. For those who just joined, I'm I'm 0 for 1. I walked in the first at bat and scored.
With a good rising fastball
4 pitch
there
walked
for
at
strike
bat in
1.
the first
He's
and
gonna
scored.
need to crank that swing
And
up another
then
notch
I
if
think
he's
I
gonna catch up to those.
flew out to left second time.
Grounded foul toward the coaching box at third.
With Castillo up here, the game will probably pinch hit Samardzija anyway as soon as he comes up in
You
this
don't
inning.
necessarily want it in the zone, but
So
you
he's
do
pretty
want
much
to at
done.
least give him something to think about.
Look out, and that'll give him a close shave.
And it looks like I'll get a chance to pitch with the lead late, which is what everybody fears in this game.
Especially right out of the bullpen.
Oh.
This might be a quick outing if that happens.
And a half swing that time, but it's a full swing in the eyes of the umpire, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Wow, it's really leaving him in, huh? I don't know about that. I may override Rick's decision on this one.
Russell Martin will lead it off here in the top of inning number 7.
Where are we at in the batting order? Martin, Lambo, and, well, that's a pretty weak part of the order, so bullpen's ready to go. If he has any trouble, I'm getting him out of there. Ooh,
Look out, as
chin
that
music.
sends him tumbling to the ground. I know we have a tendency in the media to get hung up on pitch counts, but this is a legitimate workload he's sweated through so far.
Yeah, anytime you get up around that 110 mark, you put in a full shift, and he's fast approaching it here.
The 1-1 home. Line hard into left. Lays himself
Nice catch,
out and
Lays.
makes a spectacular catch. Andrew Lambo will dig in for a third time now. He's popped out and grounded out so far.
Defense has been pretty good around me all game. Okay, now it's got Strope warming up. It'd be really awesome if I could get Shark through the 7th.
And he'll hold off on the slider to start the at-bat.
At this point, if it was a closer game than 3 runs, I would definitely have him out of there. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason the AI kept him in, and it's the only reason I'm keeping him in.
And he fires in a strike this time to make it 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, he's definitely still bringing it. It's the 7th inning, and we're still hearing the catcher's mitt snapping all the way up here.
And he'll just
Another
fight
pretty good
this one
pitch
off
out
as
ahead
it's
of him.
chopped foul.
Push this outside as far as I can.
And
Back
a
over the
swing and a
middle.
miss here,
Still
so
got him to
it's a
swing
quick
it.
2
Miss.
outs to start the 7th. Jose Tabata will dig in now.
Pretty good day as far as the
Two
strikeouts
at-bats so far.
go. I haven't been keeping count, but it's probably about 6 or 7.
And he'll try to hold up on the pitch
That's just
inside, but to
nasty.
no avail, and that's the first strike.
And that man right there, he's got to figure out some kind of combination to score some runs for him. They have really been scuffling.
Now he
Ooh,
runs
a
up
bunt.
and gets this one down.
Not going to work.
Throw to first in plenty of time, and the side is
Chargers
retired.
through 7. May get some more offense before this is done. Nope. Left the runner at third. Alright, looks like the computer's made the pitching move and bringing in Strope.
Josh Harrison will stand in now as he'll be getting his first plate
This
appearance
is going
in
to
this
be
one
every
here in the
bit
eighth.
as inaccurate as the tired Samardzija was. Strope has a real hard time finding the strike zone at times. So I can call for a pitch out here, and it might go to the other side of the plate.
Tries to
It's
catch
down
him
low.
napping, but he missed the bunt
Where he
attempt.
makes up
Strike
for
one.
that is that he has pretty good stuff. He can his 2-seamer is pretty good and harder for the computer batters to make contact. I think he has a pretty high hits per 9 rating.
Now a late
Wow,
bunt
2
attempt
bunt
here, but he misses
attempts in a
strike
row.
2.
Gonna try to make them him chase it as far as possible.
That's the splitter there, but it misses 1 and 2. The pitch.
Back in with a fastball, try to set him
And
up.
now the bat
Weak
explodes
contact.
as this is popped up.
And a pop
And
out.
he'll steer clear of the flying debris to make the catch here for the first out.
You can see just how far off the mark these pitches are that I'm calling for. This is just how a lot of relievers are. They generally don't have as good ratings as the starters. That's why they're not starters, and because they don't have enough stamina. But most of the time they're in the bullpen because they can't. They don't have the control to be able to pitch an entire game effectively. 2 down. And God help me, I'll probably have Varys coming in the 9th, and he's the worst one of all as far as the Cubs go, as far as his control goes.
First offering on the way. Fastball
Good
that gets
pitch.
the inside corner, strike one.
That thing's coming in there hot, 96 miles an hour.
Gonna try to bury this one.
That's in there as
Right
well.
over the
It's a
middle.
quick
Good thing he
0-2
didn't swing.
count.
Now 0-2 here. This is where you need to expand the zone. If it's close, you got to let it fly.
And smart to lay off there as the fastball misses. It's 1-2 now.
Well, I think that fastball is just for show there. He's not trying to throw this for a strike.
And a slider runs away from him there, and the count levels at 2-2. And a swing and a miss.
Great
He struck
pitch.
him out with a
That was a
two-seamer,
great
and the
inning
is
of
over.
relief.
Genmar Gomez is on out of the bullpen now as he'll take over to start the bottom of the 8th.
Number 30, Genmar Gomez. Now playing right field and batting in the 9th spot. Number 5, Josh Harrison.
One more at bat.
Wellington Castillo will stand in. Called out on strikes his last time.
Wellington Castillo.
Here we go, boys. Hey, get him right here. Hey, plays that one right here.
And he hits the bottom of the strike zone here with the sinker. Strike one.
Here we go now. Let's go. Hey, one down right now. Here we go.
And a check swing here, but he pretty clearly broke the plane, and it's 0-2 now. Now a swing and a bouncing ball toward the hole. And he'll turn and fire a
Ooh,
desperation throw to
Castillo
first.
with the hustle,
And the
legging it
off-balance
out.
throw will be too late, so a good effort that time, but it's an infield single. Darwin Barney is the batter now as he looks at a ball 1-0.
Oh, he wanted that one. Probably should have got it, too.
Now the 1-0. And this is hit hard to the right side. Foul. And this one's hit on the ground, but foul. Ball 2. Now a ball bounced towards the mound. Here's Walker for one. Relay to first in time.
Okay,
Just
on
like
to the
that,
9th,
this
and
side is
probably
retired.
Varys. Oh, that's not good. The computer subbed me out. Okay, I need to fix that real quick. Didn't expect that to happen. My player-locked player just got subbed out of the game, and I can't do my catching if that happens. So I have to change and select Kataris as my lock-on.
These changes for the Cubs.
And I guess the computer just threw a pitch for me. Oh well. Uh-oh, this might be bad. Well, it's not going to let me do this, I don't think. That kind of sucks.
Now a sharply hit ball back up the middle. And that'll get down for a base hit.
Might be some kind of weird with this. At least you can see where the pitch is being called for, if nothing else.
Pedro Alvarez will stand in. Base on balls his last time.
But it looks like I'm okay. Here we go. Now I got control again. And of course the first runner got on, so I'm gonna have to work out of a little jam here. Start off with something off speed. And remember what I said about Veras, his control is terrible, so I have to take a few risks.
McCutcheon holds on base.
Aim for the curveball over the middle and get it to drop low. It's a pretty good pitch.
Bad idea to take a look at seeing the curveball. You can start to get a better gauge on it. Get a feel for what it looks like coming out of the pitcher's hand.
I'm going to bury this sinker.
Good heart.
Yeah, he's probably lucky he didn't make contact on that one.
Curveball in the dirt, hopefully. Outside.
Can't get him to bite this time. It's 1-2.
Go slow one more time, then I'll try to bust him in with a fastball if this doesn't go where I want.
Misses the corner.
Okay.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, I'd be surprised if they go back to the
Or a
curve
sinker,
again.
actually. Try to get the
He's had
double
a couple
play.
of pretty good looks at it at the plate.
But I want to aim it down here, even though I want him to make contact.
And a sinker dips too low there. Into the dirt, in fact.
Yeah, he's still searching for that knockout pitch, but he can't find it here. I think he's going to have to challenge him 3-2.
And this is swung on and missed, and Alvarez is sent packing for the first out. Neil Walker will try again. 0 for 3 thus far.
Okay, well, still want to try to get that double play, roll that double play ball to end it. Still want to be pretty cautious too. This is where the game just loves to make you throw back over the middle.
Misses wide, 1-0.
And with relievers that have either low hit ratings or bad control ratings, it gets really bad when that happens.
Left it up in the zone, but it's a strike. 1-1.
Put her in the dirt, make a chase, almost got him to go.
2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, and on 2-1
Still want him
right
to go
now,
after that sinker for the double play ball.
This guy's wound up for the fastball here. Maybe you come with the breaking ball here out of the zone and hope he goes after.
Oh, that got
Sliced
too much of the
hard
plate.
down the left field line. Oh, and this
That
is
was a
past
bad
him
pitch.
Down the line, a fair ball. And this will find
They
its
happen
way
even
out
though
near
you're
the
trying to be
355
cautious.
sign.
That's the difference between some of those being singles and others being
Russell
home
Martin
runs.
will step in as the possible tying run, but just a single here could make this a 1-run game.
Okay, Veras giving up 1 run. Let's try to get out of this with actually with the win.
Here's a sinker to start him out, but he wouldn't bite. It's
Not getting the
1-1.
calls now.
They're definitely making him work out there. He came in trying to shut the door, and he has not had an easy time of it.
Now here's a ball hit hard on the ground to second.
All right,
First, and now the
2
Pirates
down.
are down to their final out.
Pretty shaky, but we're 1 out away from winning.
Andrew Lambeau is the last chance now.
Lambeau's
with 2
not a
out here
power
in the
hitter,
ninth.
so I don't feel so bad about challenging him. Try to get that final out.
Now the first pitch. And
That's a good
fastball's
pitch
in there
right
for
on the
strike
corner.
1.
And EJ, I don't know about you, but I really hated getting a bad call on that very first pitch.
Hey, jeez. It puts you just in a terrible frame of mind.
And it's just how far outside I'm aiming, because I don't want those to come back over the middle. If they're balls, it's fine, because I can come back and challenge them later if I fall behind. I'm not as worried about that because
Much harder work
he's
than I
not
think he
all that great a
anticipated.
hitter.
Yeah,
Yeah, he came in here trying to shut the door, and he has not had an
Come with
easy
a few
time of it at all.
fastballs. Let's try something off speed just to try to get it somewhere near the plate and see if he can go after it. If not, then I'll challenge. Whoa, boy, not close. All right, now I'm challenging.
A walk here would be a big no-no with 2 outs in a ninth.
Obviously, do not want to
Cannot
walk the
put that
tying run
tying
on
run on
base in the 9th inning.
Comes set, now the pitch. Swing
Good
and a
pitch,
miss,
even though it's a
with
sinker
that,
and
the
it's
Bucks
up.
are
It's
down
right
to
on the
perhaps
corner.
their
1
final
strike
of the
away.
ballgame.
Well, remember, you don't have to throw him a strike with first base open, but a walk would bring the go-ahead run to the plate.
No, not close. There's the tying run, and as a bonus, the third run scores.
Third, and just like that, it's back to a 1-run ball game.
This is Cubs baseball, folks. This is what I live with every day when I watch this team.
Run on first, so he's got to concentrate and work on getting on base here.
Oftentimes when they win, it seems like they win in spite of themselves.
And a check swing here, but he clearly went around on a pitch that would have been a strike anyway. It's 0-1. And a splitter here, but he had a bit too much on it as this bounces up to the plate. Fastball misses in the dirt as he tries to get
wild
chase
again.
the low one. Here comes the 2-1. And he's falling behind now, 3-1.
Didn't get
In
that
danger
call.
now of a second walk out of the bullpen.
Not exactly providing relief. He's got to find it here somehow.
Still want to be fairly aggressive. The last thing I want to do is get the tying run in scoring position. And he's bad. Yeah, theirs is just bad. That's all you can say. You try to aim it right down the middle, and that happens. That just goes to show how huge his error ratio is. Just how far he can miss the plate by.
Josh Harrison is in with 2 away as he takes a ball 1-0.
Now he's going to have to punch his way off the ropes now.
And he swings on top of one here and chops it foul right at home plate. Way outside, nearly to the backstop, 2-1.
Boy, what a nice job so far of working himself
That
into
27th out's always the hardest to
work
get.
on maybe picking up that 2-out RBI out of the 9-hole.
And that's taken for
Okay,
strike
1
2
strike
as
away
now they're
again.
Down to their final strike here this afternoon.
Gonna try to throw the curve. I want it down a little, but this is probably going to be a ball, and I just want him to try to chase it. I'll challenge if it gets to full. Oh, did he go?
Started to go.
Oh,
Did he hold up
so
in
close.
time? Yes, says the first base umpire. It's ball 3 now.
All right, runners go. If this is a hit, it ties the ball game. Got to go with the number 1 pitch, even though it's been wild as all heck.
No lead to speak of at second. Here's the pitch.
He went after
And
it and
fouled straight
just got a
back, right
piece.
off the catcher's mask. Hello.
Just one more strike. Oh,
Get a piece of that one, so
outside.
he stays alive here.
Still a good
Hey,
pitch.
Chicago, what do you say? 41,118 on their feet here at Wrigley.
Gonna change it up. I've been going fast. I'm gonna try going slow this time.
And here's
Uh-oh.
a big swing as he sends this one in the
Fly
air
ball,
towards
center
deep
field.
center.
He's got it. Cubs win somehow.
Makes the catch and the ball game is over. Well, you always hope to get a good outing from your starting pitcher.
Oh, I
This
hate
man
Veras
went
so
above and
very
beyond
much.
In this one, he's our top player of the game.
And this is what you want out of your starter. gives him 7 strong innings, sets things up perfectly for his bullpen to get the final 6 outs. He's going to walk away with a victory. Good job.
Anyway, that shows the stat line from earlier. Samardzija, I thought, pitched a pretty good game. 6 strikeouts. Like I said, I was calling the whole game, so he did pretty good for what I was calling. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Not quite done yet today. I'm going to be switching gears and playing on my Hall of Fame gameplay settings, playing 1 or 2 games on those settings, just to kind of show how what I was doing there applies to actually controlling a lot of the game. So, as far as my pitch